Hello.
Hi. Hey, hello. Hartavis, right?
Yeah, Artavis. What's up, man?
All right, Hartavis. All right, awesome, man. This call's gonna be recorded, potentially uploaded. Cool.
Cool.
All right. All right, so I can help.
Hey, what's up, man? So I've been a subscriber to you for about a couple years or whatnot.
Thank you.
So basically, what I wanted to talk to you about, because I really didn't have anybody else to talk to that I could, rely information on, because I've been looking at a lot of Bob Proctor videos and stuff like that, documentaries. And I know, as you're aware, one of the questions that I asked was, I think it was like number one or two. I believe it was number two. Do you have to be conscious to earn money? So that was one of the questions I
You've
wanted to
been
ask you.
watching what documentaries?
Bob Proctor's. You ever heard of Bob Proctor?
No, I haven't.
Okay. So he's the one that wrote the movie Think and Grow Rich, something like that.
Okay. Okay.
But if you don't know him, that's fine or whatnot. But
I
he's
know about Think
basically
and
like
Grow
a guy
Rich.
that, right. He was in
Yeah.
the movie, the older guy.
Okay.
But one of the things he said was, being conscious. Being conscious to get money. I know money is not the most important thing you can focus on when you're trying to get money. But that's one of the questions I want to ask you first.
Which is what?
Do you have to be conscious to get money? Do you have to believe in like anything spirituality or anything like that? Being spiritual.
I mean, all that spiritual stuff is cool, man. Positive thinking is cool. We know that negative thinking works. You can't prove positive thinking works, but you know negative thinking works 100% of the time. So it's better to be positive or have, for example, neutral thinking. All that stuff is cool, man. But when you look at it and you break it down, it's just economics, right? So economics, we work on a capitalist country, right? Which basically means you offer a service, in return you get something else. So the idea behind making money, whether you make a lot of money or a little bit of money, is just based on the skill and the service you're able to offer. So if your level of skill is, for example, like McDonald's or DoorDash or Uber Eats, you know you're gonna get that type of money. If your level of skill is, I went to school for 4 years, I graduated as an accountant, well, now you're able to go ahead and get that type of money, right? It's the same context. So it is a positive thing to kind of like say like, okay, I have this mindset to get to this thing or this conscious or whatever you want to call it. It's a good part of it. That question reminds me a lot of The Secret. It's a cool idea, like, because law of attraction and all that stuff. But it's that plus hard work and knowing what you want. Make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense, actually. It really does. Okay, so my next question I had for you is money-wise, saving money. So I have a huge problem with saving money. And personally, I don't think it's a huge problem. I just think it's something that I have to grow into doing. So prime example, I make 25 an hour. I'm a fire alarm technician. I do a lot of software
How
programming,
much do
stuff
you make
like
per
that.
month?
I make 25 an hour. I want to say take home would be around about 35, 33, somewhere around there.
Okay,
I make a grand a week gross.
Okay.
So
Okay.
about 4 grand. Take away
After
taxes, I live
taxes.
in Mississippi. Right.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Okay.
one of the problems that I know I have is I've been trying to bring up a lot of investment ideas, man. I've even thought about flipping phones. I thought about repairing phones. I'm really good at repairing stuff, but I'm having a hard time finding out what's my initial purpose. What's my $1 million, deal? Like, what's my $1 million unique talent? And I know I'm not going to get to that because this is the prime example. 25 an hour.
You know you're not gonna get where?
To where I want to be if I continue spending the type of money I'm spending, like I just got it growing on trees. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. How much cash do you
Right.
have?
As of right now, if I were to go to my bank account right now, Navy Federal Credit Union, if I go right now, tell you, I'm gonna be honest,
Yeah.
because I want to fix this situation, especially if I plan on moving back to Texas next year. So,
Okay.
at my everyday checking, I'm at 217 right now. At my everyday checking,
$217?
$217. I have nothing in savings. I have negative 75 in my checking account that I also have. I have a separate checking account that does overdrafts. So if
Yeah.
I don't have the money, my bills will still get paid. But Navy Federal only charged me a $20 difference as a fee. And I usually just call them back and say, hey, can you guys waive it? And they'll 9 times out of 10 waive it.
Okay. So you got a problem.
Real big problem. So I'm going to tell you now what I came home one day and did. I said, you know what? I'm going to come home, go online, look at my statements, get a piece of paper and write down every single thing I spend money on. So I grouped them in like spending food money, bill money, and just random stuff I just want to purchase, right?
Okay.
So I have a girlfriend or whatnot.
You guys live together?
We do live together. We have a kid that's 5. Kid is not so expensive. I'm going to be honest. She's not expensive as a lot of people would say that kids are.
I agree.
But my girl is a waitress. She doesn't, because of the situation she's in right now, she can't get other job other than being a waitress.
Okay.
So I want to tell you right off the bat how much I spent on food alone.
All right. So stop there, right? The first thing is, right, whenever, it's not that you're bad at money, it's just that you don't have the information, the correct information. Money is not just, for example, like, oh, I want to save money. So, and by the way, tell me if this is true, right? At one point, you tried to save money, you did it, and then you spent it.
Yep. Many times.
Yeah, so that happens a lot when you don't have a job for money, when your money doesn't have a purpose. It happened to me a lot. So that's why you need a system. That's why, for example, my system gives money 6 jobs. You have emergencies, you have investments, you have debt repayment, you have expenses, you have fun, and then lastly you have charity. But at the core level, right, the main expenses are going to be just 4 main things. You have shelter, utilities, groceries, and transportation. Those are the 4 foundations of every expense, right? Anything that's outside of that is just a need and something that you actually don't need whatsoever. So as far as, for example, shelter, how much you spend on rent?
We spend $12.49. So, and I pay rent fully myself because I did have her paying half and we was going half, but I realized that like when we actually got a house, I was like, yo, this kind of a big toll on her. I can tell, you know, you could tell.
You have a house
someone,
or you're renting?
No, we have an apartment. I'm not getting a house until somewhere probably 2-3 years from now because I ended up filing bankruptcy last year.
How old are you?
Took it off my credit. I'm 22.
You're 20. Why you filed bankruptcy?
I filed bankruptcy because when I was 18, I'm gonna tell you, it's a crazy story. I came a long way. So I filed bankruptcy simply because when I was 18, I had ended up getting a car loan. I wrecked that car. They paid it off. I got another car loan, and then the motor went out. Got rid of it. They paid it off, and then I got another car. And what initially happened was the guy sold me the car, and he told me that it had this done to it, that done to it. It was a boosted 5.0 or whatnot Mustang. I was 18. Well, I was 19 at the time, and I ended up getting a loan through FedEx. And what happened was, when that motor went out within 2 weeks of having the car, my mom was like, "Don't pay that loan. Just drop it. Just leave it alone."
Who said that?
My mom. So I listened to her because I was going to constantly keep paying on the car. I was going to keep paying until I saved up enough money to.
How much did you owe?
I owed $17,000, but when they got done with suing and everything, they did take me to court. They garnished me. I ended up having to pay $25,000. So I had no choice but to file bankruptcy. So I filed bankruptcy because it initially ruined my credit.
Bankruptcy or a payment plan?
No, Chapter 7. Didn't owe anything back. So,
oh my gosh.
Right. So initially what ended up happening was I was like, you know what? I'm just going to file because I was constantly paying my credit cards down every single month. But the fact that I still had that outstanding balance with FedEx that was being ignored, it kept hurting my score every single time because that loan outweighed how much credit I had.
All right. So the first thing is this, right? Let's focus on what we can change, what we can't change. You have a bankruptcy, you can't change that, that's fine. One thing is this, right? We're raised this mentality about your credit score being so important, right? Your credit score is only good really for one thing, to make it easier for certain banks to just approve you, for example, for a mortgage or whatever it is. But you don't need credit to buy a car because you pay cash for a beater car until you can afford a better car. And on top of that, whenever it comes to buying a home, for example, if you go with a standard bank, a lot of times to do manual underwriting, where basically you take a look at your income, also your expenses, and for example, your debts and all that stuff, and they write you up, for example, on like how much money you can actually get, right? So they have ways to give people loans that don't have any credit. The big problem with you is, for example, it's not you don't have any credit, it's that you have terrible credit now because of a bankruptcy. But right now, that's a separate issue for another time, because what I want to fix is basically what's going on, because this bankruptcy was literally like 4 years ago, and you have $217 in your bank account. So let's fix this, right? So shelter, right. You pay $12.49, right? Utilities, how much do you pay there? Utilities, by the way, are just... By the way, girlfriend, right?
Right.
I'm not, it's your business or whatever, but it's very important you get on the same page with this girl, right? Are you going to marry her or are you not going to marry her, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you decide on that, and then you stop acting as, for example, like as individuals. You start acting more as a unit. The money you bring in, the money I bring in, is just our money, and we use it to do whatever we want to do because basically we're on the same mission, whatever it is. Right? It's just a much better system. It works a lot better. It's kind of like paddling. She paddles a little bit, you paddle a little bit. If you guys just go together, it'll just be a lot faster. But to give her that security and you that security, you kind of got to be married and so on. And because right now, and by the way, when you're getting married, a big scare is, for example, like prenups and so on. When all you have is 217 in your bank account, you don't need a prenup or anything like that. So it's like a simple little paper. You get the whole like you get eloped at the courthouse, whatever it is, and then if you want to do a wedding later on, you can if you want to. But it's a big it's a big move, just getting married and so on. That's what I would do, especially since you have a kid and everything like that. But as far as, for example, utilities, how much do you spend there?
It reminds me and her been together since we were about 14.
That's
and
insane,
we're 20,
man.
We're 20s now, and I haven't got married to her yet.
Yeah, get married, man. Get married.
The whole process of what's going on with domestic and things. So
yeah. I mean, before I get married, what I would do is basically maybe do like a little. I mean, it's been so long, so at this point, it's kind of like, what are you waiting for? But if you want to do like some pre-marriage counseling before you get married, that's also fine. Just to make sure that you guys are on the same page as far as, for example, money, kids, if she wants more kids or whatever, in-laws, and everything else that it has to do. All right. Yeah. So utilities, how much you spend there?
We have $200 in utilities a month, and just that's on light bill, and that's because she would walk out the house and leave the lights on. Sometimes my daughter leave the light on at night in her bathroom, stuff like that. I'm really the big guy on saving money on utilities, whatever. I even told her, look, if it gets to the point I got to turn the breaker off before you guys leave, but I leave before they do, so I can't do that. So.
Just get smart lights and then just have them shut off automatically.
She has the mind frame of, since I'm paying the light bill, it's not to be selfish or not, because she does forget. She has the mind frame of, if I'm paying a light bill, then hey, I know that I need to start turning the lights off, but I'm paying a light bill, so you really shouldn't matter that much. But I'm just like, hey,
yeah, that's because you guys are acting as individuals. And it's not your money, it's her money, right? Because again, you guys are acting as individuals. There's a mindset there. But when you guys combine and you guys are by the way, this is before you get married, right? It's not like you're going to get married and then hope things change. It's more about getting on the same page now and then saying, okay, we're going to get married and let's just enforce everything we've said so far. That's the idea as far as the money thing. How much do you spend on groceries per month?
I don't buy any groceries at all. Unfortunately, I had got a credit card because I ended up getting my credit fixed and got the bankruptcy and all that stuff taken off. It was like a 780 something. It got really high. And then I ended up getting two credit cards. It was $2,000, and another one was $2,000 by Discover. I had to close the Discover one after I maxed it out simply because they wanted my tax returns, which didn't make any sense at all because of something new they got going on. So I told myself...
Yeah, because I wanted to confirm your income.
Right. But I told them, what's the difference of you confirm my income now if last year tax returns is not going to show that it's a whole different job?
That's fine. What are the groceries?
So my groceries, well, how much I spend on fast food a month is $514.80. That's that, and that's me alone. That's not with her money included. That's
Who
me
cooks
alone.
in your house?
Nobody cooks. Well, we cooked yesterday, just to kind of save some little bit of money or whatnot. But we don't usually cook at all. We usually just go out and buy food.
How's your health, bro?
You said what now?
How's your health?
How is it? Well, I have an apartment.
No, how's your health?
Oh, how's my health? Oh, sorry, I thought you said house. Sorry, man. My health is pretty good, honestly. I really don't get sick, if that's what you're asking. Nothing like that. I mean, I kind of limit to what I eat.
Not for long.
Huh?
Not for long. You're talking about fast food. You spend $518 a month.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
But it's not like fast food. You would think like McDonald's, none of that stuff. I don't really eat a lot of pork, none of that stuff like that. The fast food that I eat really is just like tacos and stuff like that. That's really...
Bro, you're trying to make it sound like it's better. Look, man. You gotta cook at home, bro, right? You just gotta cook at home because you're broke, right? Right now you're broke, so you gotta cook at home.
The whole theory of that, cooking at home, you're gonna spend the same amount of money.
No, you have rice, chicken, and beans. That's no more than $200-300 per month. That's it for all of you. That's it, right? Maybe for the kid you can include maybe like a little extra money for like the milks or whatever, but that's it, right? You can get like how much rice do you need actually? You know, like if you want all this variety, like, oh, I want tacos today, I don't this. No, right now, what you need to do is, by the way, this plan I'm gonna give you, right? It just cannot just be you, because it's gonna be like you, but then your partner is not doing it, so you're gonna be frustrated. You're gonna feel like you're not going anywhere. So you gotta get on the same page here. As far as groceries, I'm gonna use your real fingers right here. So let's just say, for example, you spend almost like $650 on groceries combined in your whole household. Transportation.
Right.
Do you have cars? Are they paid off?
Yeah. So her car is paid off, and it doesn't give us really any problems, to be honest. And then my truck, I have a 2011 Tahoe, and I pay about $445 a month on it. But I also use the 10-day grace period, so it'd be like $470 something afterwards because of late fee and all that stuff.
Oh my gosh. So look, right, just on the bare necessities, right, you spend basically $1,250 on rent, $200 on utilities, $650 on food, and then on top of that you spend $445 on this car.
Well, no, I say we spend right at about $1,000 a month on food alone, just $1,000, because that $500 that I told you about was just what I spent out of my account, what was recorded on my statements. She's a waitress. She's the one that usually take care of all the food every single day because she gets paid every single day, basically.
So let's say, for example, so you're spending somewhere almost around almost $3,000 per month.
Yeah, and that's still not even including
everything else. So
right.
So that's why you have a problem, because you have no money left over, because you have a spending problem, right? You have a convenience problem. That's what it really is. So for example, my rule is when it comes to shelter, right? Shelter cannot be more than 33% of your monthly income. So if you make $3,300, your wife makes $1,000, your girlfriend, not your wife, $1,000 per month, right? Let's say that, for example.
Okay.
On the low end, it means your budget can be like somewhere like around $1,419 for shelter. So you're good on that. Utilities, they really aren't that bad, right? You can lower those by getting like smart lights or whatever. That way you're fine. It's a little investment, but that's good. Food, bro, the max I go is $200 per person, right? And even in this case, it doesn't really have to be that high. But it can be, for example, a lot less than $1,000, maybe like $400 per month. That means, for example, you're buying rice, you're buying chicken, and you're buying beans. The core necessities, that is it. No eating out or anything like that. It means you're meal prepping. If you want to get serious about money and everything like that, right? Because you might say, Tommy, I'm not going to buy a house just yet because I had this bankruptcy, but you're not going to be able to buy a house, period, unless you're going to be buying a house, for example, no money down. And that's a whole separate issue because you're always going to be living in a constant, I'm almost there, but I might just be short. And then you're always going to be kind of like anxious about everything. That's not what I want for you. So how much do you have left on this car?
On this car, I have, if I were to just have someone just pay it off, it's right at 10 grand. But if I were to continue making the payments, it's like, she said it was like 11 or 12 around there. But
and your credit card debt, how much do you have in credit card debt?
Man, credit card debt, man, I'll be honest with you. So I get a child tax credit or whatnot, and I have a Mission Bank credit card. It is $300, it's maxed. I got a Capital One, $300, it's maxed. I got a Discover card that I just closed down, still $2,000, it's maxed. And then I have a Credit One, $2,000, it's also maxed.
So you owe $4,600 on credit cards.
Yes.
All right. So here's what I would do today, right? Just to fix this whole thing. Because again, I have 30 minutes with you. I don't have a lot of time with you, so I want to make sure you get everything kind of like you have action steps that you do. First of all, make a budget. Your budget is going to be, for example, just the 4 foundations. Are you Christian? Do you tithe?
No, I don't really believe in all that.
Okay, so you don't have to do that part. So what you need to do as far as, for example, your expenses is just going to be shelter, utilities, grocery, transportation. That means, for example, by the way, it means, for example, you talk to your girlfriend, you have a serious conversation, here's what's going on. I'm scared. We don't have any money. If I lose my job, we're going to have a problem. If you lose your job, we're going to have a problem. So we need to fix this ASAP, okay? Come to a realization on that. Ask yourself if you're going to marry this girl or not marry this girl. If you are, marry her so she has confidence, you have confidence also, and then go ahead and combine your finances. That way, things are a lot more simple. It's just one unit acting towards one mission. Things are a lot more simple that way. Now, that means, for example, you have shelter, utilities, groceries, transportation. Everything that is not included in that, I'm going to go ahead and cut it out. So that means no Netflix, no crazy phone bill. You get a prepaid plan. Everything is basically cut out. right? You just have the core foundation. As far as, for example, a phone bill, there are plans that cost like $10 per month. It has to be a real sacrifice. You know, this stuff is hard. So once you cut all these bills down, you should be able to come down a lot. If you're cooking at home and you're meal prepping and all this stuff, and she's on the same page with it, she's helping you cook or whatever, your bill goes from $1,000 to $400 or $450 max per month. That saves you over, I don't know, like $550 per month or whatever it is. That saves you a lot of money, honestly. Now, all the extra money that you guys actually have left over, what I would do is the first step is going to be save up $1,000 for a quick emergency fund. Right?
Right.
So once you save up the $1,000, the next step is you want to pay off your debts. The system I use is called the avalanche method, meaning you pay the debt with the highest APR first. The one that costs you the most money first, you actually pay that one off. Now, you have 4 credit cards. You cut every single one of them off. You cut them, like you cut them. If you want to keep them open, that's fine. You put like your little phone bill on one credit card. You put like a little whatever other bills you have, for example, you put it on one credit card and so on. That way, like it maintains and everything. But that way's fine. But I don't want you to go back into debt because you have a problem with debt because you keep going back and back into debt. It's a system, right? So that's why I want you to cut the cards, and that way you eliminate the possibility of going back into debt. Make sense?
All right.
So you pay the credit card or the debt with the highest APR. Now, the question here is, for example, with all the extra money that's left over, the question now becomes, well, I have a budget. It's just a core foundation, right?
Right.
I know I have money left over. Okay, I'll use it to pay my debts. But the main idea is I have this Tahoe, what is it, 2011?
Right.
Yeah, so I have this Tahoe. I owe $10,000 on it. If I sell this car, how much can I get for it? If I can get $10,000 for this car, I sell the car, I cut my losses, and then boom, I can. What's your job, by the way? I forgot.
So I do fire alarm. I'm a fire alarm technician. I do a lot of service and program and stuff like that for fire alarm systems.
So you need the truck for that or no?
No, I have a company vehicle.
Yeah, so get rid of if you can get $10,000 for that truck, get rid of it, sell it, and then you cut your losses and just buy, for example, like $2,000 car, right? And just drive around in that, and that way you're good to go. Or share the car with your soon-to-be wife for a while. But you know, $10,000, and let's just say, for example, just for fun, you have $1,000 extra after this budget. It's gonna take you 10 months or whatever, and it's like a dying asset. And you don't need the truck because you have a company vehicle, so get rid of it. And right now, because the market is kind of like so hyped up, you might be able to get a decent price for that car. If you're not able to, though, just pay off the one with the highest APR and then work yourself towards the other debt. Now, if you're able, for example, to qualify for a personal loan to basically get $5,000 and sell the truck for $7,000, cut the losses that way, and that way you're good, kind of like a refinance in a sense, but you get rid of the car, that's also a good idea. Make sense?
Right. A little bit of sense. I guess it's just the whole hunger of just saying like, yo, you know, I got this car when I had a 490 credit score, and they gave me $1,900 down, 3-year loan. The truck was only $15,000 after fees and finance and whatnot. It was about 18. I only owe 10 on it now, and I've been paying on it for a year.
Yeah. Look, sometimes you're gonna lose money, but it doesn't mean you have to make it back the same way. If you lose money with this car, doesn't mean you have to make money back in with the car again. You make money in some other places, right? But this car paying $10,000 is just gonna ruin you. It's stopping you. It's costing you $445 every month. That's money that's taken out of your pocket. If you just get, for example, like a used car for $1,000 or $2,000, that means that a rate that saves you $400 per month, right? Plus the food, there's an extra $500, right? Now you're almost at $1,000 in savings. So if what you want is, for example, right, is financial freedom and to have more security, eventually buy your future wife and your kid a house and all these other things, you got to make the sacrifices. This car has nothing to do with you. It's just a car. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You feel me?
That's true. You can always get another one. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
You can always get another car. So.
Yeah, just get rid of the car. So once you're debt free, honestly, right, once you figure out your budget with the 4 foundations, write this down, by the way. Shelter, utilities, grocery, transportation. That's all you need. Once you get that budget with those 4 things and you cut everything out. By the way, utilities, you could say, for example, electricity, gas, and phone bill, maybe. But if you have, for example, T-Mobile with the new iPhone, get rid of that too. Just get, for example, a prepaid plan.
Yeah, I have like AT&T. We spend about $300 a month on it.
Yeah,
that's with me.
It's ridiculous, man.
Yeah, and it's not even in my name too. That's the problem with it. It's in my brother's name.
Call it off. Leave the line. Leave the line. Say you're having problems. You're losing your job. Leave it off and cut it off. And then just go. I have a look up best phone bills. Tommy Bryson. I have a whole video on it. Or just look up on YouTube. There's a Mint Mobile. It's like $30 per month. $30 like unlimited everything. By the way, is buy yourself like a little prepaid phone for like $200 or $100 or whatever it is, and just call it a day. You have no business with this stuff, man. They're finessing the heck out of you. All these little things are robbing your money, man. So whatever you work, you have no money left over. You're having to use grace periods. You feel me? So you got to stop all this stuff. Whatever you don't need, you cut it off. I don't care how embarrassing it is to tell your brother or your whoever it is, hey, I can't afford this bill anymore. But you be honest, I can't afford this. I got a whole kid. We spend way too much money. We got problems. I can't do this no more. I'm sorry. Bye. That's it. But the line, it's gonna mess up my whole thing. I'm sorry. Bye. It's that simple, right? You cut off everything you don't need. So once you're fully debt free, the next step is, remember, you have that $1,000 there for emergencies. You boost it up to 3 to 6 months worth of emergencies. So that means you'll have, if you're spending like on a real budget, like $2,000 per month, which is, let's say $2,200 per month, which is a little bit more reasonable, multiply by 6, well, that should be for 6 months worth of expenses. That's a really good emergency account. So that way, if you lose your job or she loses her job, that way you have, for example, the foundation in case anything goes wrong. Make sense?
Right.
Now, one thing is, right, I want you to keep this money separate because you have the habit of spending money that you shouldn't be spending. So keep this money, for example, in a separate bank account. You can use Wealthfront, SoFi. It's an account that takes a while to get to and to come back. So this way, it can only be used for emergencies. And if you do use it for the wrong reasons, you know for a fact it's gonna take too long. So you're like, okay, I'm just gonna leave it there or whatever it is. Make sense?
Right.
And then after that, once you have a full emergency account, you can get into, for example, investing. But initially, all you're doing is fixing everything you did that was wrong, for the moment at least. So that's the core. That's what I'm going to tell you about today. So budget first, save $1,000, and then you start using the debt method, the avalanche method, to pay off this debt. And then you save for emergencies. But you got to get on the same page as far as, for example, with your finances with your girlfriend, and just decide, am I going to marry you? If I am, let's go ahead and talk about it, combine our finances fully, and just start moving as one team. It's not I pay the bill or I pay this. We pay everything. It's our money. Make sense?
Okay. Yeah.
You have a daughter, right?
Yep. I do have a daughter, a 5-year-old. I didn't even realize that when we first got an apartment or whatnot, we still don't even have like living room furniture. But a problem that I know I have a big problem with spending money because, man, we were out.
Stop saying that. Stop saying that. Whatever you say to yourself, you keep is gonna become a part of you, bro. So whenever you mess up again, you know, I just got a problem. Ha ha ha. It's like an alcoholic. That's every time he drinks. I'm an alcoholic. No, bro. Say like I need to work on my money. That's all it is. Switch your language.
Right.
So go ahead.
Right. So we were in Florida. I went down there with my sister to get her a car and whatnot. While I was down there, I didn't know the gas prices was going to be that expensive down there. And I took my truck, and my truck burns a lot of gas. Don't get me wrong. That's why I don't drive it.
I bought a Prius. You don't even drive your truck. Sell that car.
I don't even drive my truck. I don't drive. I just have it just to say, you know, hey, I work for this. You know, so
use different badges as badges of what you're describing as a badge of success, right? Use your wife and your healthy daughter with a roof over her head and a financial stability. Use that as your badge, not a stupid truck.
Right. That is true. That is true. But we were down there in Florida, like I said, and I didn't have no money. And what I was gonna do was I went on a farm. You know, I got approved for a little loan or whatnot.
Stop borrowing money too, man. Stop borrowing money.
Exactly. So I'm gonna tell you what I did. So I went on the firm. I got the loan. I went into Walmart to buy a TV. Well, what I was going to initially do was I was going to buy the TV and then resell the TV back to Walmart and get the cash back and just pay the loan back off. So, but that didn't work. The TV's right here. It's on my dresser. Bright as ever, 65-inch TV. You know,
don't even use
4K. It's just top of the top, and we probably use about once or twice a week, basically. So
sell the TV. Sell everything you don't need to help you pay your debt. Sell everything you don't need to help you sell your debt. So you sell the car, you sell the TV, you sell everything that you don't need. Daddy, where's the TV? We sold it. The only thing you're not gonna sell is your daughter, man. But everything else, you sell it. Sell everything you don't need. Look, man, I appreciate you a lot for coming on this call. I wish you had more time, but these calls are not like a one-time thing. So if you want to schedule another call and talk to me next time, once you have your budget and everything figured out, by the way, there's gonna be a course coming soon, man, because I want you guys to have this course to just help you out a lot more. But that's all you need for right now, man. It's a solid budget, you pay your debts, and call me when you have a budget, okay? Schedule another call. Okay. And again, welcome to the long-term team, man. I'm happy for you. I'm proud of you, because guess what? You might say you have a problem, but at least you're willing to make a change. And a lot of people are not, okay?
Right. All right, thanks, Thomas. See you soon, man.
All right, see you soon, brother. Peace out.
All right, bye-bye.
All right, guys, so that right there was Hartavis. Let me say his name correctly, because I want to say it's Hartavis. Yeah, right? It's Hartavis. Right there, Hartavis. And recognize, say, I have a spending problem. And this is a problem with debt, you know? It's like you pay it off, you go right back to it. Pay it off, go right back to it. But it's because basically your money doesn't have a job. It doesn't have a purpose. The purpose should be, hey, I want to be in a better position where basically I don't got to worry about money. It's not about $1 million idea. It's not about $1 million anything. It's about having more money come in than you have going out. That's what's very important about this whole system, guys, okay? I'll see you guys next time. If you guys want to call me next time, feel free to do so. The link is down below. Schedule a call today. On top of that, also, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you're notified. If you guys want to DM me on Instagram, Ty Bryson. Before I go, on top of that, also, subscribe here and watch another video here. Peace.